Okay, and this is where the power gets stored. This is where, yeah, my 295 amp hour batteries, and they seem to hold quite a bit of power. They were a bit of a job to get in there, but I'm so pleased that I now have sealed batteries, because as you can see, there's not a lot of room in there, and topping up my old ones used to drive me insane. I had one of those bottles that you use for watering plants, hanging baskets, and I used to fill them up with distilled water with that, but it was still a real annoyance because you couldn't see how much was in there and things like that. So hopefully these will do as well as my last one. This is the regulator for my big panel, the 250 watt panel, and as the blinky light says, my batteries are full, which is really good. It's a better actual regulator. It's a MPPT, I think they're called, and they're actually much more efficient. Whereas this one is an old regulator that I've had there for a while, but I couldn't run all of my panels because they're all different sizes through the same regulator, so I've kept that old one there and put a new one in for the big panel. So that one runs my 120 watt panel and my 95 watt panel. They are okay to go through the same regulator. And yeah, it seems to do the job. I mean, it'd probably be better if I put a better regulator in there, but at the moment it works. Of course, because I've done all of this after the fact. When I first bought this truck, it had a really old solar panel and no regulator at all. So I had to have a switch so I could turn it off when the batteries were full, otherwise it would just boil them. So this is a much better system. And in this little cabinet is my inverter, which is quite a big one. It's 3000 watts, so it can run whatever I want it to. So yeah, this is my office, this is my laptop, my chair, and the printer, which is covered with a blanket so the cat's fur doesn't end up all through it. I can glance out and look at the view. At the moment I seem to have collected quite a few flies in here because I've got cows next door. That is actually a new laptop I got a while ago because I kind of cooked the other one trying to edit videos on it, and the specs weren't up to it and it just got too hot with the software I use. So there's a new one. It's a gaming laptop, which I find really quite funny because I just don't play games on computers, but it has the right specs for what I want to do with editing and things like that and graphics. So having a really big graphics card's really handy for that. This is where my internet comes from. That's through Vodafone, the carrier's Vodafone. I get 120 gig a month for $99, which is actually really good. It allows me to do all of that and watch YouTube videos and do all my work and things like that, which is, yeah, so much better than what it used to be. I remember paying $89 for 6 gig, and you really couldn't do a huge amount with 6 gig, especially if you're wanting to upload videos and stuff like that. Some of my more high resolution videos I make for my other channel are, you know, they're quite big files. So so those are really the basics of how my whole system operates. My office, my internet, that runs on 12 volt actually. That modem, it didn't come with a 12 volt plug, but it is actually a 12 volt unit. So if you've got one the same from any of the other providers like Wireless Nation or Netgear, I think, or something they're called, yeah, you can just run a 12 volt lighter socket plug into it and plug it in. So yeah, there's a bit of wiring to tidy up and a couple of things to do with cabinets and so forth, and it's one of the things I find in this lifestyle is there's always something to do, something to finish off, something to redo, something to redesign, and I quite enjoy that because, yeah, otherwise it'd all be just static. Like, that's something I would find frustrating, you know, if I had one of those custom built modern things that are all done. It's pretty hard to get creative with them. I like all this timber because I can just build things and do things and attach things, and it's, easy to work with. If I break anything, it's easy enough to get a sheet of plywood on the outside and repair it. I haven't actually had to do that. One of the things you may have noticed around my battery locker, there's a bit of damage there, and that was from years ago when somebody actually hit that corner in Orewa, and rather than replacing the plywood, I actually just put a bigger door on it, and because it was easier than taking a whole sheet off and doing that. So the bigger door now disguises that. So they are always things to do. In general, I find my solar system works really well for me. Okay, if I have 4 rainy days or something like that, I will pull out my little 1 kVA Honda generator, which is fine. It's a quiet little thing that doesn't seem to be too annoying, and yeah, charge my batteries up and use that for an hour or 2, but I hardly ever use it. I actually need to get it out and give it a run because I haven't run it for months. So yeah, somewhere I'll tuck it away somewhere nicely and let it run for half an hour or something. So yeah, so I've got about 450 watts of solar, just under 400 amp hours of storage batteries, and because I don't have a 12-volt fridge, that works fine. If I had a 12-volt fridge rather than an LPG 3-way like I do at the moment, I would probably need more, because they use quite a lot of power because they run 24 hours a day, you know, keeping cool. And yeah, if I ever wanted to do that, I would probably need to get another solar panel and another separate dedicated battery for the fridge. The internet receptions is in general pretty good. Okay, there's some places where I can't get online, so I either have to plan it well, like I did when I went through Gisborne. I actually shut my appointments down for that week so that I wasn't so pressured to be in reception and could enjoy the journey a little bit more. But in general, if I know there's no reception somewhere, well, then that place isn't really a very good option for me. But it's becoming so much better, the coverage, and with that Vodafone system and some of the other ones too that are running now through the NZMCA, that one, and there's another one, yeah, you're running on 4G LTE, which seems to have quite stable coverage, which seems to be better than the phones, which is very, very good. I have toyed with the idea of getting an aerial for it because sometimes it is a bit patchy. It's okay for emailing, but if I want to upload a video, it can take up to 4 hours, which is a bit painful when you're running on solar. So yeah, but all in all, yeah, the whole system works. I used to have a lot less data I was able to use, so I always had to be careful and things like that, whereas now my 120 gig, I mean, I usually watch a bit of YouTube every night and yeah, work online and upload some videos to my 2 channels, because this is a new channel. This is my travel channel and tiny house channel. I have another one that's associated with my work, which is more on the spiritual subjects. I wanted to keep the 2 separate. If you've got any questions actually about solar, or any great ideas or tips and tricks you've discovered, please comment below. I love to hear your comments. Also, yeah, give this video a like if you've enjoyed it, or subscribe if you'd like to see more like that. And also let me know what sort of things interest you about this lifestyle. I mean, I travel a lot, but only in New Zealand, on the road, and yeah, so if there's anything else you'd like to know more about, I'm happy to make a video about that. So see you all next time.